On Daf 30 of Taanit, we get the statement that there are no days as happy as Yom Kippur and Tu B'Av, the 15th of Av. And it's kind of a weird statement. First of all, Yom Kippur is one of the biggest, grandest days of the year. Not necessarily a happy one, joyful one, but that's how what the Gemara says. And we can see it kind of because it's like a day of atonement, it's a day of becoming the renewed. But why Tu B'Av? Tu B'Av doesn't even seem to have that much history. It's not really much of a holiday. And the Gemara goes into a lot of detail on what specifically makes Tu B'Av so significant. It comes up with a lot of reasons. I've actually gotten quite a lot of mileage out of this Gemara because my sister was married on Tu B'Av, and so in my speech at the wedding, I cited exactly what this Gemara brings out, and I also used it in the first book of the Age of Prophecy series, The Lamp of Darkness. So what are some of these things? There's quite a list of them. I won't go through all of them, but this is a time of reunification of the tribes. It's a time that the tribes were allowed to marry each other. And it's also a time that people would go get married. It says that the women would go out into the orchards and they would basically dance in the orchards, and men would come. This was how they would be meeting people. They would be meeting people just for like the purpose of getting married. And I have this scene in Lamp of Darkness where people do that. Single men and single women, they go out into the orchards and they intermingle, and you see the different women would call it to the men with whatever they had. If they had, a really good family, they'd say, marry for family. If they're really beautiful, they'd say, you should marry someone who's beautiful. And, whatever they're going for them is really what they would call out. And we're trying to find husbands, and you had all these families coming together on this day. It's also, we say, the day that people stopped dying when they were coming out of Egypt. The whole generation was cursed to die in the wilderness, and Tu B'Av was the day they realized that that whole period had passed and nobody else was going to die. And it's the time that God again started speaking to Moses because their prophecy wasn't going on during this period of time in the desert, and it again awoken on Tu B'Av. So this is a really powerful day in the Jewish calendar. It's a day that's not really marked so much with a holiday, but we tend to look at it. Some people look at it as the Jewish Valentine's Day, the Jewish most romantic day in the Jewish calendar. Is this day Tu B'Av, and it's a day, as the Gemara says, is among the most joyful of the year.